Hello, this is Shittu, your mathematics teacher. This video is brought to you by Ighota Virtual Learning. In today's lesson we are going to be solving WAEC past questions on trigonometry. Get your writing materials ready and join me.
This is the first question we are going to be solving under this trigonometry. So why question? So we are given this question: if tan x equals 3 over 4, we have this condition, that is the x must be greater than 0 then less than 90 degrees. So we are to evaluate this. We want to evaluate this given all these conditions. So I would like you to pause the video, so solve this yourself, then come back and compare your result with mine. What we need to do is, when you have tan x equals 3 over 4, so we are going to introduce this is called a right angle triangle. So here we can have the angle x, let's say, is here. So if angle x is here, and from trig ratios we have what we call SOHCAHTOA. So where this S is sine, O is opposite, then H is hypotenuse. For this we have C stand for cos, A stand for adjacent, H for hypotenuse, and this. So here, this is our H, this is the opposite here, which is O, and we have what? We have the adjacent here. Now, but here, the question is given, to us, we have what? We have tan x. So, and from here, according to tan x, we have opposite over what? Opposite over adjacent. So therefore, we're going to compare this with what we have here. So now, O is 3. So this place will be what? This place will be 3. Then we have what? We have A, which is 4. This place will be 4. Are you getting it now? So therefore, to get this cos x, cos is A all over what? Hypotenuse. And the hypotenuse is not given here. So therefore, we need to get the value of the hypotenuse here before we can get the cos x. So therefore, we need to get the 3 sides, and the remaining side is what? Is h. Now, by Pythagoras rule states that h square, which is hypotenuse square, equals opposite square plus adjacent square. Right? So now h, which is what we are looking for, we don't know it. H square equals O square is 3. We have 3 squared plus A square is what? Is 4 squared. Now here we have H squared equals 3 squared is 9 plus 4 squared is 16. So adding this up, we're going to have the 5. That is 9 plus 16 will give us 25. So we have H squared. Now we're going to take the square root of both sides. This, we cancel this. We have H to be the square root of 25 is what? Is 5. So therefore, we have this to be 5. So we've gotten all the 3 sides of the right angle triangle. Now, what we are asked to evaluate is cos x all over 2 sine what? 2 sine x. Right? So now, according to what we are given, so we need to know our cos first. What is the cos x? Cos x is adjacent over hypotenuse. So I don't, because of time, that's why I'm putting it. A stands for adjacent and H is hypotenuse. So now, according to the 5, 4, and 3, this is the right angle we have. And we have what? We have x here. So now, if you want to know this cos here, cos x is adjacent. Adjacent is 4. That's the 4 all over. The hypotenuse is what? Is 5. So we can see we have what? We have the cos x to be 4 over 5. Now, what will be sine x also? Sine x. We look at this diagram also. Sine x is opposite over what? Opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite over hypotenuse. That is so. So, the opposite here is what? Is 3 all over. The hypotenuse is what? Is 5. Can you see? We have 3 over 5. Now, Having this, we can now bring what they ask us to find, that is cos x divided by, because we are having cos x to be fractional form and this also to be in fraction form. So I want to change this division or division line to this division sign, 2 sine x. Okay, so cos x is 4 all over 5 divided by 2 multiplied by sine x is what? Is 3 over 5 according to what we have here. So now we have 4 all over 5, then divided by 2 times 3, we have 6 all over 5. So now we need to change this division sign to what? To multiplication. 4 over 5 multiply. So if you do that, this will be flipped, this will go up, then this will come down. We have 5 all over what? Over 6. So therefore 5 here, we cancel the 5 here. 4 divided by 6. Then if you try to divide 4 divided by 6 further, so we're going to have 4 divided by 2 here, we have 2. 6 divided by 2, we are going to have 3. So therefore we have what? We have 2 all over 3 to be the what? To be the solution to this. So this is just theory question, so the options are not given. Okay, so we have what? We have this solution to be 2 over 3. Thank you. So given that tan x equals 1, where x must be greater than or equals 0 and x must be less than or equals to 90 degrees. So we are asked to evaluate 1 minus sine square x all over cos x. So all right, before I start mine, so you pause the video, solve it yourself, come back and check my own result, then you can compare them. So solution, we are given this tan x equals 1. Okay, so therefore let's bring a right angle triangle, and don't forget that since we are given tan x, tan is given to be 2. Okay, where we are going to be having opposite over what? Opposite over O, that is O over adjacent. And comparing this to what we have, so we have 1 here. This one can be written as 1 over 1. So we're still going to have 1. So which means our opposite, if x is here, okay, the opposite to x will be this place, while the adjacent will be what? Will be this, because this is angle 90, that is right angle. Now the h is not given, which is the longest side, hypotenuse. And I told you, whenever you are given this type of question, make sure you get all the what? All the three sides. So you only use what is given to us, okay, to get what? To get the third one. So now to get this third one, which is hypotenuse, so we're going to apply. So we apply this rule, Pythagoras rule, that states that hypotenuse square equals the sum, equal to the sum of the square of other two sides, which is 1 squared plus 1 squared. So we have h squared equals 1 squared is 1 plus 1 squared is 1. We have h squared equals 1 plus 1, that is 2. So now to get this h squared, we try to what? Square the both sides, so that this square we cancel this, then we square root this one. Okay, I mean we square roots the both sides, so the square root we cancel this square, and we're going to have root 2. So therefore we're going to have our h here to be root 2. Now given that tan x equals 1 here, but looking at what we are given to evaluate 1 minus sine square x over cos x. Now we have to do something here. I want to translate this sine square x. I don't want to use sine square x. So I would like you to recall, okay, recall from trig identity. We have trig identities. They are very, very important in what? In trigonometry, okay? So therefore you will have to master some trig identities if you want to do well in trigonometry. So recall from trig identity, whenever you see 1 minus sine square x, okay, this will always be cos square x. This will always be cos square x. right? So I want you to what? I want you to jot this down because we are going to be using this. Okay, so let me write the 1 minus sine square x equals cos square x according to what I said earlier. Now this is the what? This is the trig identity that you need to know. Okay, so which is telling us that what we are asked to find is 1 minus sine square x over cos x, like this. So anywhere we see 1 minus sine square x, we're going to replace it with cos square x, right, over, and we have what? We have cos x here, cos x. Are you getting it now? So now from here, so there's something that we still need to do. This cos square x, same thing as having, this cos square x, same thing as having cos x multiplied by cos x, then all over cos x. Are you getting it now? So from there, so this that we are looking for, that we need to evaluate, is the one that we transform to this. So you can see that this cos x will cancel this cos x here. So we are going to be left with cos x. Therefore, everything here is cos x. Now, let's go back to where we have a diagram, which is the right angle triangle, where we have h to be this, okay, and we have what? We have this to be 1, and we have this to be 1. So if you want to know cos here, if you want to know our cos here, cos x here is going to be adjacent over what? Over hypotenuse. Okay, because everything, I told you, everything has been reduced. What we are asked to find has been reduced to what? To cos x. Okay, that is the simplest form of this is cos x. So now what we need to do is just to get what cos x is, and it will give us the value of what we are asking for. So now here we have cos x equals, the adjacent here is what? Is 1. We have 1 all over, the hypotenuse is root 2. So therefore, some people can leave their answer like this, right? But if you don't want to leave the answer like this, and some say we cannot leave it because of this root 2 that is at the denominator, so you are going to rationalize. Okay, so if you rationalize this, we're going to have cos x to be equals 1 times root 2, that will give us root 2, then over root 2 times root 2, that will give us root 4, and root 4 is what? Is 2. So this is what they ask us to find. Then this is equal 1 minus sine square x, 1 minus sine square x, okay, all over cos x. When we reduce this, we are giving cos x, and according to what we have here, cos x is what? Root 2 over 2, and that's the end. So therefore, root 2 over 2 is the solution to the problem, right? And you can check for more, questions from your WAEC series, past questions, so that you can see more of questions like this. You can try and solve. Thank you. This is the third question under this trigonometry. So we are given sine 5x minus 2x parentheses equals cos 3x minus 50 parentheses, where x is greater than or equal to 0 and less than 90 degrees. Find the value of x. Given these options, I would like you to pause the video, do this question yourself, then come back to compare your result with mine. Now quickly, we are going to solve this. Now we are given so now we should recall from trig identity under complementary angle that when you have sine theta will always be cos 90 degree minus what? Minus theta. So take note of this, because this is what we are going to be using. Now, using this, we try to compare with this, because you can see we have sine here, we have cos here. So which we can compare this with this identity given here. Now, what we're going to do now is that we can now rewrite this sine 5x minus 28 okay, sine 5x minus 28, as this theta will be this 5x minus 2x, 28, because now the theta is 5x minus 28. Now, anywhere we see theta from here, we replace it by this. We're going to have 90 minus into bracket 5x. Don't do the mistake, because this is binomial, that is two terms. So you need to put the parenthesis, that is bracket here, minus 28. If you don't put the bracket, you'll not get it right. So we're going to have this to be sine 5x minus 28 equals cos 90. Now use this minus to open the bracket. Minus times 1 minus 28, this will be plus 28. Then minus times 5x, we're going to have minus 5x. So we have sine 5x minus 28 equals cos 90 plus 28. That will give us 118. Then minus 5x. Now, looking at this, you can see that this and this one given to us here, I mean the main question given to us, you can see that the left hand side, sine 5x minus 28 and sine 5x minus 28, you can see that these two, the right hand sides of this equation, star and star star here, you can see that the same thing. Do you understand? And so we can what? We can compare star, that is the main equation given to us, and what? And star star, which is the what? Which is the second equation that I have here. So we can see that the right hand side are the same. I mean, since the left hand sides are the same, automatically the right hand side will be the same. So we're going to have cos 3x minus 50 to be equals cos, which is from the star. Then the right hand side of the star star, that is equation, cos 118 minus 5x. So from there, you can see we have cos A, we have cos A. So that can be cancelled out. So we're going to have 3x minus 50 equals 118 minus 5x. So now from here, now let's try to collect the right time. So minus 5x will be transposed to the left hand side. We're going to have 3x plus 5x, then 118. 118, this minus 50 will be transposed to the right hand side. We have what? 50. So we're going to have 3x plus 5x. That will give us what? 8x equals. Now 118 plus 50, we're going to have 168. Then we divide both sides by 8. Okay. So now dividing both sides by 8, this we cancel this. Okay. So this implies that our x is going to be now 168 divided by 8. That will be what? That will be 21. So we have the solution to be 21. So now looking or going back to the option given to us, you can see we have the option C to be the solution. Okay, thank you. This is the fourth question we're going to be solving under this trigonometry. So I want you to read the question, pause the video, do it yourself, then you can come back and let's solve this together. Right, so given that sine x equals 3 over 5, where 0 is less than or equals to x, okay, then x is less than or equals to 90 degrees. So we have to evaluate an x plus 2 cos x. So we want to evaluate it. This is where we are going. So you should take note of that, and we are given this option. So now solution. Right now, I believe you have gotten many ideas, based on what we've done in the past. Now here, what we need to do, let's bring out the sine x 3 over 5. So we are given this, and we have to plug it on our right angle triangle. Okay, let's say this is what? This is x, which is the angle that is given. And you know that from so to, this is sine, so means opposite over hypotenuse. All right, so which is same thing as 3 all over 5, because we are given sine x. So O stand for what? Stand for opposite, and the opposite to x is this, is the side that is facing the x. That's the opposite. Then the hypotenuse is the longest side, which is what? Which is 5, which is the side facing the right angle. This is 90 degrees. So therefore, I told you, so whenever you are given this, you should make sure that you know all the three sides. So that is when you'll be able to find, in case you are asked to find tan x, cos x, or sin x. So therefore, to get this now, what are you going to do? So by Pythagoras rule, okay, so we need a, that is the adjacent. So what is the adjacent? So you know that Pythagoras rule states that hypotenuse square equals the sum of the squares of the two other sides, which is this. So h squared, which is this, h squared, then o squared. Now a squared is 5. We have 5 squared equals o squared, which is opposite square. We have 3 squared plus a squared, which is what this. Then that is what? A squared. That is what we are looking for. We don't know it, adjacent. So now from there, so you can see 5 squared is 25. We transpose this to this side, we have minus 3 squared is 9 equals a squared. So 25 minus 9, we are going to have 16 equals what? Equals a squared. So now from here, so this implies that taking the square root of both sides, okay, this, we cancel this, right? And we're going to have square root of 16 to be 14. So we have a, which is the adjacent, to be. So therefore, the adjacent here is what? Is, sorry, 4. Is 4. Is 4. Are you following now? So since we have that, so what's the next thing we're going to do? We are now going to bring out, we need to find sine x, cos x, and tan x. So from the question, tan x, we are asked to evaluate tan x plus 2 cos x. But let me bring out what we have gotten. Let me take it into the right angle. So we have gotten, we have this to be 5, which is the hypotenuse. We have this to be 3, and we have this to be 4, which is the adjacent, and this is what? X. So now, according to this, if you want to get that, you can see we need tan x and cos x. So from here, what is our tan x? Tan x equals, tan is toa, and it means, toa means opposite over what? Opposite over adjacent. Let me write it well. Toa, opposite over adjacent. So according to what we have, what is our opposite? Opposite is 3. We have 3. The adjacent is 4. So we have tan x to be this. Let's keep that. Then let's see what the cos will give us. Cos x will be K, that is CAH. Then adjacent is 4. We have 4 all over. The hypotenuse is 5. We have this. So the cos is what? Is this, which is the cos. Now let's bring what they asked us to find. Tan x plus 2 cos x is now going to be, when you have tan x, what is tan x according to what we have here? 3 all over 4, okay, plus 2 multiplying cos x is 4 over 5. Are you getting it? So from there, what do you think we're going to do? So we're going to have 3 over 4 plus 2 times 4. We are going to have 8 divided by 5. Okay? According to this, let's try to take the LCM. The LCM of 4 and 5 is what? Is 20. Okay? Now, how many 4 you see in 20? That is 5. 5 times 3, we're going to have 15. Plus, how many 5 you see in 20? That is 4. 4 times 8, we're going to have 32. Plus 47 all over 20. So now 47 over 20, let us write 47 over 20 in what? In mixed number. How many 20 you see in 47? That will be 2. Okay, that will be 2. Then remainder 7. Remainder 7 all over 20. So we're going to be having this to be 2 whole number 7 over 20. And that is the solution. Okay, that's the solution. 7 over 20. 7 over 20. Right? So when you go back to the options given to us, you can see that this option C is the what? Is the solution to the problem. Right? Please just master these problems, right? So you can understand better about this trigonometry, right? So in case you'll see any questions related to why question, so you'll be able to solve them correctly without having any problem. So thank you so much for watching.